a metal plate, like this is your door, here's the metal plate, it just is a cover, and it's long enough that they can't get their hand in through the, to unlock it. That deters one thing.
And change the code.
I would change the code,
Just,
and if
just
they,
any kind of deterrent,
and
whatever.
if they, I'm
Any little
almost,
bit.
But they're not using the code, right?
I'm almost tempted to say, I wanna go look at the door, we could be really mean and change it so that you have to have a code to get in and out. So if you get in, you have to use your code to get back out.
I'm so claustrophobic.
That would be a fire problem.
You can't do that.
You're allowed to.
You can.
Yeah.
In a pool?
Yep.
No, that is
What if
an
there's
issue
an
on
emergency?
cluster
I don't wanna
3.
do that.
Because you have to have a
What
key
if
to
there's
get
an
into cluster 3.
How did you
and
get
have
in
to
to
have a
begin
key
with?
to get out
What if there's a
on the
little one?
backside.
What if they forget,
We're like,
panic and someone's
I
driving? I
I'm
think
too
I'd
claustrophobic.
rather put a bar there so they can't reach their hand in to get it.
Do you want to guard dogs as well?
And if anybody sees them, then we just call the police.
Yeah.
I think we should call Bradenton Police and have them tool around here
They do.
automatically.
We do have a
done
police
that.
officer that lives in one of our clusters.
It can't be Bradenton Police because we're not city.
No,
It has to be the county.
Right.
Don't we have one that lives here in
Yeah.
cluster 3?
They have,
We do.
no, 4.
Is it
Four?
He
4?
parks in 3.
Okay, okay.
But so there's no way we could go on a roll for the Bradenton,
No, Manatee County, not
or Manatee
Bradenton.
Has to
County?
be the sheriff.
Can you get a hold of, put that on your notes?
Who, me?
Is that what you're doing?
Yes. You guys have to call this county though, when the police are, you have to call the police because the police won't come out if I call.
So do we?
You call the non-emergency line and you say,
For the sheriff's department or?
yes,
Yeah.
it's the sheriff's department,
out here.
941-748-11.
941.
I can't remember the rest of it. I used to be able to remember the South place off the top of my head.
748.
Hold on, Manatee County Sheriff. 747-3011. You just call them and you say, we have trespassers or intruders in our pool. They're causing
747.
chaos. Use the word danger if you can,
Well, we also had about
and property damage.
the guy that came in our property also?
I do not know about him.
Jim, you want to tell him?
What was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? A guy was going around our cluster knocking on doors.
Mr. One?
Yeah, Susan called me and said there's a weird guy trying to get in the doors. So I walked out and called him, trying to get in my neighbor's door, Betsy. And I politely said, what are you doing here? You know how polite you want to be with the guy.
Right.
And so he turns around and he says, I'm looking for somebody, some woman. And I said, well, she doesn't live here, you don't belong here. Now the guy is in a pair of shorts, bare feet, no shirt, and he's got the electrode thing stuck all over his body.
No, he just left the hospital.
Like he just
Like he
escaped
just
from.
yanked them off and walked out.
That
you
doesn't
serious?
surprise me. So, in that circumstance, I have to tell you guys, the only thing you can do is, I know,
He just
did he
escaped
leave
from
after you
Manatee.
talked to him? Blake.
Oh, I walked him off
Blake?
the property.
Oh, you did. I would have honestly, I would have held him there and called the police. I mean, I would have just been like, hey, can you hang out for a minute? And then I would have called the police.
The
I mean,
afterthought was that I was going to call the cops. I said to him, look, I'll call Manatee.
it could have been a,
Department. Yeah, they'll come and help me. He goes, oh no, and he started to book it out of here.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I said, where's your shoes? And he says, they discharged me, they never gave me my shoes. And I said,
Forgot
"Oh,
him when he
okay,
ran out."
Section 8 or something, right?
no, I'm pretty sure that he just probably was Marchman acted or something and escaped. But the lesson learned here is, and I think I've always said this to you guys, the only way I can help you and the only way we can help each other is to be visual. And I would never want my owners, although that was brave, I would never ask you to do that to go up to somebody because I don't know what their response to you would be. Then that's a scary situation for me. That could have gone so many multiple ways. So if you see something strange, the best thing to do is just to stay away, don't confront, call the police, and wait for them to come.
That's what the sheriff will tell you.
Yeah, and when the police come, you have the authority to say, or to call me, or to get your cluster director, and they have the authority to remove the person and trespass them from our property. If they're actually physically trespassed, if they come back again, they go to jail. So we want to make sure that, you know, I mean, I don't mind that people, if that's something you feel like you want to do but I just don't want anybody's safety in jeopardy. That's all, you know?
Yeah, we had, a week and a half ago, my daughter goes out to walk her dog, and there's a guy sleeping by my car.
Lovely.
On the ground, and he's covered up, you can't see his head. So we called the sheriff.
Good.
And they came out.
Oh my
Did they tell me I had to leave?
Huh?
Did they tell me I had to leave?
Yeah, they told me I had to leave.
And I did hear about another incident.
So he was just sleeping out by your car.
So believe me, I always lock my door now. Always.
We'll talk about it later.
I have.
Also, another thing is, Edna had cluster 6, something illegal happening on her, one of her lanais. If you see something illegal, don't let it just go by. Call the sheriff.
Yeah, we have
Right?
to.
I didn't see it.
No,
It was reported.
Other people
Yes.
saw
And
it.
the thing is, we're private property. If we were not private property, we could call out for patrols. You know, like HOAs, things like that, like Kingsfield, one of my HOAs, we have them patrol the property because it's county streets. So they have the ability to come through. If we call enough and keep complaining, they come through. Well, we own our streets, so we're private property. So they will not come out and assist us with patrols. They will allow us to hire them for an after-hours service of $43 an hour to come patrol our property. But they will not patrol our property for free because we're private roads and they don't have jurisdiction to really actually patrol it.
They have been gracious enough to drive through here on occasion.
They have.
Yeah, I mean,
I've seen
Yeah,
them.
because I've seen them.
you have, but it has to be a nice cop.
Well, they just drive.
Yeah, they might just cut through or something just
I think
to check.
sometimes in the past when we've had trouble, when we've had issues
Yeah.
or whatever, they've come through.
The more you call,
After like that.
the more reports they get, the more phone calls that come through, that, for them, the more incidents are reported in the community, the more attention the police department gives to you. So if you're calling just randomly here and there, and you're not really reporting everything, then they're just saying, it's just normal
crying wolf.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crying wolf.
If you're constant, if you're staying on top of it and saying, listen, we have a guy sleeping by a car. We have a guy who looks like he escaped from Blake coming on over here. We have, you know, we have these kids who are demolishing our pool. We have this, we have that, we have all, I mean, somebody sleeping by your car, that's crazy. Like, I would be extremely scared.
I walk out there at 2 o'clock in the morning with my dog
You can go in
sometimes.
the backyard. I know you're not allowed to go in the backyard.
I never,
No, dude, I'm like serious, like.
I know, I'd be freaked out.
Okay.
Oh, no, I do.
So, anything else?
Okay.
Bottom line, call the cops.
Affordable homes, can we bring that up?
I think it's on our agenda, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Did we get through the first items yet?
One more thing for the master. We are diligently working on the financials. We're almost through December. It's been a big undertaking, not just for the accountant, Colleen, and myself, because they were just put in stacks, a stack, right? And then Colleen separated them by months and bank months. And then the accountant did a first reconcile, then I got the stack of months, and now I'm going through and making sure that each cluster is properly allocated for the funds. And the master isn't all getting the hit, because everything had come out of the master basically, but for known items for clusters. So I'm hoping that we can have the December reconcile finished by maybe tomorrow. I sent the final to the accountant.
She got it, she's opened it, she's
Yeah,
working on it.
and then I
tonight.
have to check it again, and then it'll get sent out to the directors, and then
Once December and January are done, February and March are gonna be much
Really?
easier. We took over.
I know,
We had March.
but still all of January and February.
Well, February was, I just said January.
Oh.
But February
The
will
end
get
of
better.
February.
And then March through now,
Yeah.
we'll be back on track. So the problem was nothing was properly allocated. It was just like, oh, here's a bill to gym price. But it wasn't broken down like, okay, cluster 2 owes this, cluster 3 owes this, da, 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 da. So, and then some of, like reimbursement checks for taking out of payroll.
Oh, that's really hard to
It was really hard because the payroll really wasn't done through a real payroll system,
It
so.
was done through Oasis
No.
previous.
And then it went to QuickBooks
Right.
for them, and now we're back on Oasis, which makes it 10 times easier because they do all the tax.
Yeah.
They're an HR company. So it's just been a lot of work, and Sharon's really done a lot of the work. She has taken a lot of her time to really go through and blow up my phone about what she needs, but she went through every single invoice. So I want to give her a lot of credit for that.
Hours and hours.
Yes, not
Thank you,
just
Sharon.
hours.
Hours and
I'm talking like 10, 15 hours she's put into this.
Don't thank me yet till you get your reconcile. Anyhow,
I'll go through each one too.
you guys can, don't worry.
We'll give them to
And
you.
I might have missed something. I mean, it's like,
It's putting together a puzzle.
yes.
It's really like putting together a puzzle and trying to fit the pieces together back after the fact when you're not really sure,
What happened in
Right.
the process.
And the other thing that we talked about after this was, I'll just throw it out there, we talked about it, making when things are reported via email from you guys, making a record of, like a log of what it is and what vendor we contacted and things like that. So, because it's always been an issue, like, you guys use different vendors, but you've always wanted to try to use the same vendor if they were good. So
Right.
this log might help bring everybody together with like, here's an electrician, here's a power washer, here's
I think
people.
that's a great
Right, I
idea.
know. So I think that's what
What
we're
are you
gonna,
using, an Excel spreadsheet then?
Yeah.
I will be.
Okay.
Well, I started
She
the
started it,
Excel
and
already,
she's gonna send
and
it
I'm
to
gonna
me.
send it to her to finish, because she's gotta go back
I
through
think
emails.
it's a great idea.
But then you
Because
guys can
if you
see.
use a certain vendor that is actually reliable, that
Yeah.
is cost effective, and does the work when needed,
And gets paid immediately.
everybody else
We can count on it.
needs to.
Well,
yes.
immediately is 30 days.
Well, that's what I mean.
But we're getting, we
That's
get our
what-
checks out.
Yeah.
You do.
Surprisingly
Twice
enough.
a month.
Okay.
We're getting
So when
paid.
we're on the subject of invoices, I've noticed what will really help is in big lettering, put down cluster 1 or 2 or whatever. Put your name. Put what account it comes out of. Do you know what I'm
We will
talking
get-
about?
no.
You have 2 accounts, operating or reserves. If you don't know, you ask Colleen, because you might not have enough in operating to cover an item.
Okay.
So then it comes out of reserves. And you need to sign it. So your cluster, where it's going, operating or reserves, your signature, and you need to date it. And
Okay.
it will make life a lot easier when we're reconciling. Or the bookkeeper, once we're through the next few months. So, hopefully that gets done. We're gonna go on, to the application. We approved our application, where is it?
Yeah, right here.
In, I think these were approved in 2016. Anyways, we changed their criteria back in 2016 and approved it.
Right now.
When we revised our rules. I don't know, but our rules were done then. And it worked because the criteria was stricter. And during that one time period when we had the new management company, the management company was approving our applications and wasn't going by the criteria. So we need to reinstate our application so that we're back on track and everything's done uniform.
I was on the board when we through that. That was very, I mean, everything was like rock on with that.
Yeah. The problem is, when you have fair housing, if you deviate from the criteria and you don't reinstate the application and you just go forward with approving and denying, somebody can come back on you for fair housing saying
Right.
during that time frame someone approved. So we did find that some people were approved that didn't meet the criteria. So we need to reinstate this document as of today, and then here on out, it makes it much easier because when I send the applications to you guys, I can just say they meet the criteria or they don't. Like it's I usually say they
Because you go
they meet
through
it.
all of
I
that
do. I
as
look at
well.
the credit
Yeah.
real quick. I look at everything. It's super easy for all of us. And I think it has brought in a better quality of tenants and owners to the community. But the problem is we have to reinstate it in order for it to be enforced. I can't enforce it right now.
Do you have a motion to reinstate?
Yeah.
I motion it.
Absolutely.
Oh, dang.
Second.
I think
All in
Everybody.
favor?
Yay.
Okay, so if anybody needs a copy of this, obviously it's on the website. It didn't change or anything. It's just the same stuff, but it's on the website. But it will be enforced from the state forward diligently.
Thank you. Tree trimming proposal.
Yes.
Okay, so with you saying diligently reinforced, may I ask this question?
Sure.
Just write it down. Item number 6, back of the front page.
Well, mine aren't front and back, but yeah.
Important factors to consider. Item number 6. Should a renter move into a unit without the approval of the association, the association has the right to evict the renter, and the unit owner will be liable for all costs pertaining to the eviction process, including attorney fees. Okay. I just want to make sure that
It's
we
approved.
understand that.
Yeah, yeah. But, I mean, we don't get the money up front, obviously. It goes into the ledger, just like everything else. I know which one you're talking about, but it's just going to get added to the ledger like everything else does.
Okay.
I mean, I can only back collect, I
Thank
can't
you.
front collect.
Did we get a few that squeaked by?
Yep.
Like as in several or one or two or
Maybe a handful,
couple?
yeah.
I don't think that they were really, I
Your
don't know.
size handful or mine?
Probably,
Probably yours.
yeah.
They're doozies.
I had one,
Yeah.
I had one in 4, but she's an attorney, so, I mean, she's fine. Luckily, I got lucky, because
It was more she had
they
like student
did
loan
the
questions,
application,
like that.
they submitted the application, and then, I talked to the new homeowner, and she goes, oh, my tenant was approved. I'm like,
I knew.
how'd that happen? So then I called Parham and asked him, and he said, well, you don't have a right to see the application.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a doozy.
So anyways, that was just one of them. That one in 6 that she's having problems with,
I'm
they were
thinking 1 and 3.
they were approved, but they were squeaky clean. But she's still having a problem. So you still could have someone move in
Right.
that's squeaky clean and become a problem.
Correct.
Sure.
But this does help get rid of a lot.
I'll just read it real quick in case anybody doesn't remember exactly what the criteria is. I'll read it. It takes 2 seconds. So, the credit report cannot contain evidence of any bankruptcy, notices of court judgments, persistent collections activity, agency activity, writing of bad checks, or more than 3 of all credit accounts with a bad payment history. In the event that an applicant has had a bankruptcy or foreclosure at least 3 years in the past, the applicant has restored good credit as evidenced by at least 5 accounts in the current credit report, each with a reporting history of at least 12 months, then the applicant shall be considered for approval. The credit report passes the above, if the credit report passes the above criteria, the board of directors or its managers may, at its discretion and when possible, contact previous landlords and employers. The criminal record shall not contain evidence of any felony, prison terms served, wanted status, sexual predator history, or other factors bearing on moral character. The criminal record shall not contain evidence of any misdemeanor convictions for the destruction of property, public nuisance, disorderly conduct, or any other offense which shows a history of disregarding safety and or peaceful living of those in close proximity. The association shall not discriminate against any applicant on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, sex, marriage status, or age. So it covers pretty much everything.
So obviously those that squeak by, we live with.
It's more of a credit.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they were approved by the management company, I
Right.
can't do anything about it.
Right.
At this point.
Can I request an application?
You can have that one.
You want a blank one?
No.
You want all your
One that
applications
is
for
already-
yours?
No, I don't want one that's been approved and I don't know what
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If we can find it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Um,
I'll let you know later.
okay.
No worries.
Yep.
So, tree trimming,
Yes. Let's approve this. Let's get it going
for
because
cluster 3.
for all of them. I mean, I'm good with the master. I've had these guys like 2 years ago.
They've
I
done
had
all
them.
this, yeah.
They did an amazing job. It's like,
Mine
and
were
they're
They
about
good.
a
sold the
year
business,
ago.
they're under new ownership now.
They are?
And she's fantastic, her name's Dana.
Well,
It's
2
just
is
really-
done.
wow.
2
She did a really good job on
She's
mine.
an arborist too.
And she's
she
an
is.
arborist.
She's very punctual.
She actually called me.
She's very
She
nice.
did,
Yeah.
good.
She walked all around with me. Yeah.
She called me twice and she just, I mean, these big trees that we had in cluster 2, they've trimmed them way
Yeah, all
down.
off the roofs.
They've got them all off the
Oh,
roofs. They
great.
really, this one tree, they cut back almost to a hat shape. And the other tree, they topped it right off by Don, where Don lives. They topped it right off. And it's growing like a weeping tree now. I mean,
Sweet.
it's
Can you go
beautiful.
up and see if cluster 5, don't you have some that are overgrown
Oh,
in the
yeah.
canopy?
Oh,
You see
We've
if the
got
canopies are
overgrown
included?
as
Didn't,
well.
I mean, didn't
Yeah.
we used to schedule for the tree
Yes.
trimming?
Well, yeah,
Everybody all
Yours
together?
were done by Easy Joe last,
You're right, they were.
the same time, around the same time as I did in June
She
last
has
year.
a proposal.
But we had like the affordable palms, we had them come in and give a group proposal for
Right.
all clusters.
That's what I thought we did.
And I've only got cluster 3, I only
I
brought
feel
that
that.
one.
I
didn't
will
print
say
out
with
the
it
rest.
being the end of May,
We need to have it done here
hurricane
shortly.
season,
Yeah, it's right
coming.
around the corner.
They did the 3, the 3 great big
Wasn't that
trees that were
much.
growing into belfies and stuff. They cut those way back. They did all of our 14 palms on the inside and the outside. And they cut a tree down that was dead, right
One
to
of
the
them
ground.
is a master.
And it was only
Saw the
$2,400.
Colleen, did you
It
get
was
the pictures I
amazing.
sent you
It
from
was amazing.
mine?
yeah.
They did a good
Okay.
job.
Okay, so cluster
It was
3,
amazing.
you have a different quote probably than what I'm looking at. Is it $600 or is it more now?
The one I'm looking at right now is 600, but I took away the paradise, or the birds of paradise bush in the middle of the pool because I think Easy Joe can take care of that. And had them at the northwest corner.
Did you have them revise it?
But it's not right.
I sent the email, I don't know if they've revised
To
it. I haven't
Colleen
got
or the
anything.
affordable palms?
I sent it to Colleen
Okay.
and you as well.
So yours is $825, do you approve?
Can I see it?
I just had,
Are these the palms?
I just had, take out that one tree that's dead. I called it. I sent you an email about that.
That's on the master when we get to it, they gotta eliminate it. Are they actually gonna sterilize the saw blades in between each
Yes, they
palm?
are. They said, and it's highly recommended as well, because that way if
That's
there
good.
is
Palm
any,
diseases.
yeah.
Okay, I approve mine.
I approve the
good
master,
job.
but I want mine updated only to where it'll take care of that corner, because that's where, when a storm does hit, that's the first place it's
Okay,
gonna go.
cluster 5,
Mhm.
all palm trees, the carrotwood tree, very overgrown. Is that the one that's?
I don't know which one that is.
One medium carrotwood tree, 15 foot tall, very overgrown.
I don't know, what's a carrot wood tree?
I think it's in the courtyard.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I have one right outside my unit, and it's on the building. I mean, it's
That's probably
touching
it
on the
then.
building. It needs to be trimmed majorly.
Okay, your quote is 1,045. I think that includes everything.
Uh-huh.
Well, the carrot wood, that big, is that, huh, I know you have some big ones in your cluster. It must be that one.
Those are carrot woods that are along the fence along 63rd, and aren't those carrot woods? And along
Along
Manatee.
63rd.
Yeah, they're not real big trees.
I don't even know.
they're
I don't
just-
know.
Can you look up what a
carrot
carrot
wood
wood
A
is?
bunch of them.
Okay.
Let's get clarification on
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Let me get
'cause
clarification.
I don't know which one that is.
Probably need to walk the cluster.
Carrot wood.
Dana usually does with the clicker. That's what she walks with the clicker.
I might have her meet me.
She'll need to meet with me too because
Cluster
her quote
six.
is totally wrong.
Okay, so you need to meet
I
with
have
her.
31 properties,
How about
not
this?
18.
Let's schedule a day to try to get Dana out here, to walk with you guys. She can go from cluster to cluster,
Yeah.
other than cluster 2, and clarify her proposals.
Yeah.
And then,
That
once
would
we
be
get it
great.
clarified, then we need to get them at least scheduled before, we'll ratify at the next board meeting, but you guys can approve via email, so we can get them on the schedule at least before they get slammed.
Well, I
with
know
regards.
that she said that they had availability now, so if we're
I know they
gonna
keep
do
asking
this,
me,
Yeah, they
we
copy
need to
you.
get it done, because
They
this
need
right
business,
now
they're
is
slow right
slow
now.
season,
yeah.
and the sooner that we all do it, the better off we're gonna
Could
be
we
here.
ask her to come next Thursday? Well, I'll go ahead and email you.
Remember that's
I had it
Memorial
on
Weekend
myself.
for everybody.
Yeah, but it doesn't start
Thursday
till
is-
Friday.
Well, I'm just reminding everybody.
Is everybody are you going out of town Memorial Day weekend?
When can we do
Probably
that?
be
I'll be
working,
back
but
next week.
We can do it the following week.
As long as, once we walk through, she
if
gets us the
nothing else,
proposal.
I can, if Carol's gonna be around, I can actually have her,
She's pretty good about walking.
yeah.
Carol, you'll walk first?
She knows where my trees are at, so
Okay.
it's like,
Shannon,
you
you
want
want us
six
to let
for
you know
Edna?
when we're gonna do it?
I'll walk it
If you're
for you.
available?
Yeah, depending on when you're doing all of this.
I'll walk it.
We're leaving out of town June 4th.
Okay.
And
So
we'll
if
count.
it's gonna be prior to that,
It will
fine.
be.
If it's after that,
Or
I can't.
I'll walk Edna's on Thursday, because she's not gonna be here.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So,
we're going out.
Kathy Jo's gonna walk Edna's, you're gonna walk yours,
That's the
And-
23rd, right?
you'll walk 5,
Sure.
Carol's gonna walk 1 and 3.
Yes.
And this is Thursday the what?
23rd. I don't have any plans. Oh my God, you're my first plan of the day.
You don't know for sure yet if she's available
She'll
for
we're
the
gonna try to
21st.
She'll make herself
Okay.
available.
Okay,
I'll have Colin let you know.
okay.
Any other business? Yes, ma'am?
Excuse me, who's responsible for trimming the bushes?
Easy Joe.
Easy Joe.
I don't know who Easy Joe
He's
is.
the
The
maintenance
maintenance.
person.
He's a
I mean,
landscape
the landscaper.
contractor.
Well, he's not doing this work.
What cluster are you?
I'm 3, where you come down, you know, in the lots of it there, and you come down the alleyway like, the bushes that are right there. Since I've been here 6 months, I've been snapping them off, the extra ones, but now there's too many of them. You need somebody to come with scissors or clippers or whatever and do them. The azalea bush has weeds growing out of it.
We still didn't get a copy.
They're mowing, the person that mows, he's doing a nice job, he's doing the walking areas. But the bushes all need to be trimmed. You people were talking about the trees, but what about the bushes? To be truthful with you, I did somebody very
Right.
mow the other day, and I was embarrassed.
What unit number are you?
I'm 3, but if you
No.
look down through the other
She wants to know
ones,
what your unit number is.
6134. But if you look at the other ones, and then those things, those pebbles that are in like islands, at one time there was maybe a bush growing in there, now all it is just stones and maybe the wood from where the trees or whatever you had planted in there is sticking, but it doesn't look nice. I go down and look at other places and they're all pristine. Why are we so poor?
I didn't choose to hire him. and I'm not pleased with him either, but until we can get through our financials, then we have to tell him till we're blue in the face that he's not doing a good job. Colleen, step in and tell them.
We tell him over and over, and unfortunately, we're gonna have to go out for bids to find a new landscaper. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
There's-
But
Excuse me, one azalea bush that's next to the building, the weeds are so bad that now
I understand,
they're climbing up the.
right? We understand the severity of it, but he's not doing his job, and we keep reminding him, but Peter doesn't pull weeds. So that's not part of his job description to go out and pull weeds because Easy Joe didn't do it. So the bottom line here is that we have to schedule a meeting with Easy Joe, which we had talked about the last meeting, now that we have the contract. We need to go over the specifications in certain areas that have issues. And then at some point in time, we're probably gonna have to revisit our budget and a different landscaper. He didn't work the first time, and he's not working the second time.
Right. Well,
So-
he's just supposed to mow and trim.
No.
No, but all
Yeah,
he's
that
capable
is
is
small
mowing, blowing off. That's all he's capable
Who's that?
of. He's only capable of mowing and blowing off. He's not capable of anything else, and we know that. We're stuck with him right now,
Right.
and I apologize. I don't like looking at weeds. Cluster 5 doesn't like looking at weeds. We understand, it looks bad. I think, Colleen, that you need to send him an email, and
I'm gonna probably just send him a certified letter.
And we need to be careful, because he killed we have
He killed your plants.
we have beautiful floral plants in there, in the pool, and he killed them.
With Roundup,
With Roundup, he killed them.
which you're not even supposed to be using right now.
And see, I have bushes that are growing trees out of the bushes, and clusters where it's like, oh my gosh, there is one tree on this one bush, and it's like, they will not trim it. I'm going, are you serious?
You have palm trees that grow palms.
Just anybody
it's
out there too,
terrible.
don't use Roundup right now, it's against the law.
Oh, yeah, Roundup's against the law.
Right.
It was all over the national news.
That's what red tide causes, red tide, so,
Excuse me, also,
Okay.
and I swimming pool last week, the water.
I
was-
can't hear you, I'm sorry, there's other
I'm
people
sorry, I
talking.
can't speak English. Last week, our swimming pool, the water turned yellowy green, and it was black around the edges of it.
Okay.
Did you see that,
It was
Terry?
supposed to be, I mean.
I've
is it okay?
actually,
Terry's the cluster 3 director, so I'm gonna let her
No, there
answer.
was a lot there.
the algae that is growing in the pool, when he comes to clean the pool, he's normally really good about that, but for some reason, our walls don't get, he needs to scrape those walls, like,
He's not scrubbing
they
them?
have to be brushed. Plain and simple, it's like the algae, especially as it gets hotter,
Do you have black dot, by any chance?
it's
You
yellow algae. I've seen it, I mean, I can see it actually from my lanai, and it's just like, it's disgusting.
so he's not taking any time.
No,
He
very
brings in, he'll
in
come
and out.
in,
He's fast.
he's very fast, and he comes in and he like brings this white net, but he, like, in order to take care of the pool, for one, I don't know when the last time that the actual pool was clean and
Vacuum.
We understand, and you know what, again, I hate to beat a dead horse,
He doesn't vacuum the
but
pool.
this has been an issue with Trinity Pools forever.
Forever.
When it was super pools.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always talked about this, we talked about getting new pool vendors, but they always came in higher. So, as we
Because he
get
doesn't
on,
vacuum the
we
pool.
get on them,
I could tell you,
We
I
yell
could
at
run
them.
a chemical test on my pool right
I'm
now.
sure it's totally unbalanced.
And the filters have not been cleaned for
Yeah.
at least a year.
yeah.
Probably need a new cartridge.
We'll have to call Trinity.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I'm gonna send a certified letter to Trinity Pool right now.
Well, is the pool safe to go in? I don't want to catch some kind of disease in it. How do you know when it's okay to go in?
We'll call them to come out and double check it. The health department would shut it down too, so
Well,
they just came out and did the
My
inspection.
pool is perfect.
Yeah, our pool is crystal clear, it's beautiful.
If he knows that you live close to the pool and you're a cluster director, he cleans the pool. Just FYI.
I think that we need to give him a phone call and send him a certified
You two
letter.
have never had problems.
I'm sleeping when he comes.
But he still knows that you're there.
Yeah, yeah.
And he always knows she's
Jeff
watching.
watches him like a hawk.
Do I have any other questions or comments?
Can I just ask, just FYI or just for the fun of it, do you ever have a shredding day?
Oh
Does
my God, I was
CMS
just
ever
thinking
do
about that.
Or could
We
we
do
not
once a
have
year.
here once a year or something?
We talked about that.
Like a shredding day?
Yeah, a shredding company
I-
that
that would be
comes here
awesome.
to be here at the clubhouse for 2
I have a
hours on
shredder
a
in my
specific
house.
day. I have a
She's
shredder in
talking
my
about
house
dumping
too.
boxes.
But there are lots of times I burn out that shredder over and over and over. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, they have those things where those trucks run around, they come to places,
really good
they'll
question.
come for 2 hours or
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm glad you said that.
I mean, it's
don't
just
want the
something
doctor's
as a
office.
community to offer once a year, you know, around tax time or whatever it is, to have Shred It Day.
That'd be
Maybe
perfect.
have it when everybody comes back.
I mean, it could be in January, February, it could be March, whatever. I'm just saying, a day where it's like, you know, like we always have, Pebble Springs, whatever.
That's a good idea.
Just,
That's a really
it's a
good
2
idea.
hour shredded, it sits out here, everybody comes with their stuff, get done with it.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
That's a really good
I'd like,
idea.
anybody make a motion to adjourn? No.
What is it, the
Next meeting, June 20th at 6:30. Is cluster 3 gonna have their meeting beforehand?
Do you want to have a meeting at 5:30 or no?
For what?
For your
Your owners come if they have any issues?
We have no owners, most of our owners,
Okay.
the owners
Are
that,
gone?
So you say no.
almost everybody that lives there are renters with the exception of 1 or 2 people.
Okay.
That's why we didn't either.
Okay.
I'm
Make a
like,
motion to
most
adjourn the
everybody is
meeting.
there is
I
renters.
motion to adjourn
Yeah.
the meeting. Okay.
I agree.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.